good evening, and happy holidays from Wook Classic Movies. As always, I'm your host, Douglas Wookbanks. Tonight, we're going to look at some of our favorite scenes from holiday films throughout the years.
Welcome to wook+live.
At the end of the show, can we say we'll be back in 15 minutes?
Right?
Steely Tom stole what I was going to say. I love the theme, Jason. The
That's
holiday
exactly what I was
theme
going
is
to
so
say,
good.
too. Jason
So
killed it.
good. I know, he nailed it.
Fucking Forever Tongue is the greatest song ever.
Oh, man. That's
So
not what
good.
it's called, man. What is it called? It's on the tip of my... So what we're doing is this is going to be the set one closer because we need a break. We got the holidays kind of burnt out. So, we'll chill for a little bit and we'll be back in the new year. So this is the last live of 2021. Thank you for being with us.
But we are going to be around next Wednesday.
Yes, we will be in next Wednesday for the Christmas Spectacular.
And it's going to be spectacular.
Yeah. Here, let's play that ad real quick. All right, that's enough of that. I just wanted to get the date next Wednesday. All right, so let's get right to our guests. I know we used to do this, opening discussion thing, but the guests the last couple of weeks have been so good, and tonight is staying on that.
In other words, we suck, and the guests are
they're really why everybody tunes in.
Right, exactly. Right.
You know him from Broke Down Podcast or possibly HF Pod or Undermine, or perhaps from his music. There's a lot of ways you might know him, or from Twitter.
The John T. Maybe the John T.
The JM Hart, Mr. Jonathan himself. How you doing, Jonathan?
Hey, what's up?
Freshly shaved just for us.
Yeah, look at that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Looking good.
Appearance is important to walk.
Exactly. I mean, this is a video show, so I don't normally have to shave for my own podcast, but
yeah, it brings a whole different dynamic doing it like this on this format.
And you guys all have the cool video packages and stuff, man. It's fun. It's fun.
The production stuff, I think it's a lot of work, but I think that's part of the fun for me, right? Like, for us, is it's like a different medium or art form that like you can kind of explore, different ideas
shit,
with.
Man. Next level shit.
Yeah, that's video editing is outside my range. If anybody ever saw the video for my first single. I guess it was this year. Don't go looking for it. It's out there, but don't go looking for it. It's bad. It's really,
I wish our research team had brought that to my attention. I would love to have a clip for it.
Up right now to play. I know, it would have been perfect.
Give me a hint. It's really just me walking to the beach.
Everyone's Googling this shit. What was it called?
I don't think he wants to tell you that.
No.
Yeah, no. Somebody will find it. You guys.
Somebody, right? Team chat.
What's up, y'all?
So, yes, they're on it.
So as I had mentioned, you have a lot of projects. You are a man of many projects, which I did because we kind of relate to that. I feel like we're all, what do you call that? Brewed from the same. Right, exactly. Like
Renaissance men. We're Renaissance men.
Sure, that's what you would call. I don't think that's what you call it, but we have the same itch for sure. So I guess you want to run down the resume? You want me to? How do we want to do this? How would you? You're actually the professional. How would you do it on your show?
All right. So here's what I do. I would probably, I don't know. Where did you go to school? I think I lead with that shit a lot. It's terrible. It's
really?
Like I gotta stop. Yeah, I'm
like, better than where do you work?
Yeah. No. Well, we're not here to talk about our jobs.
When did you get it? When did you first get it?
Who are your guys?
So is your primary focus the Broke Down podcast, or is all your energy going to HS Pod now because it's Tuesdays and Thursdays?
Well, let me tell you that Tuesdays and Thursdays schedule is quite a thing, but I wouldn't say it's my primary focus. But it's definitely it gets some energy. but I'm managing to keep up with Broke Down Pod. And I intend to keep it going with that. That's not going anywhere. So yeah, I mean, you'll notice that on the little thing right here, it says Broke Down
That is
Podcast. It's
that is
really
the
hard to move your
primary.
hand along with that thing. So, but you know, that's no shade to my other projects. They're all everything. The most important one is the one I'm working on right now.
Right,
There
that's
you
a great answer. You probably get that one a lot on your shows. I think it's cool though because you get to do things in the dead world and the fish world. I mean, they're adjacent, but they're separate in a lot of ways, right? Plus, you get to do the primary and the secondary creative, which is not a dig on secondary, but like that's how I view the creative process. Because even internally, when we do projects, sometimes Kevin's the primary, sometimes I'm the primary, and I feel like with Broke Down Podcast, it's like something that you can be the primary creative, and then when you're collaborating with 4 other creatives, then
Total
you know.
control.
Right, exactly. I think you need both. It's the yin and the yang. It's good to have that mix. So I think it works great.
Totally. You know, with like HF Pod, I'm just one voice, and I'm more of the guy who's going to derail the conversation. Whereas
Oh
with
no,
Broke Down,
but
I'm
all of us
responsible
are.
for it.
We're gonna have a whole
in the
show
right
on
place.
guys that derail conversations. This is gonna go really well. But you know what we have built in actually? Oh wait, no, I should give you more time to lead into it. It's too late. I already brought it up.
Oh,
We have our first break, so when it does derail, we can reset. So
Yeah.
let's take one of these built-in breaks, and then we'll get back to it on the other side.
Sounds wonderful.
Welcome back to Wook Classic Movies. Our first film tonight, It's a Wookiful Life, reminds us not to give up on our dreams and sell out to big corporations. In this scene, Clarence is showing George what a wookless world would be like when they decide to stop in a bar to have a drink. Let's take a look at the scene.
Oh my god.
Are these
Yeah,
guys
that
kidding or
555
what?
vintage is the stuff, man. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I'll knock you on your ass.
I lost the comment, but somebody, I think it was Makita, was like, "What the fuck's happening?" And
Yeah,
that's
there it is.
yeah, the exact same thought I have every time we do this.
I thought the same thing as David did about the size of my Imperial.
It was tiny.
Yeah, that's the
powerful.
$5 glass.
It's a shot, right? The
A taster.
taster.
Above average IPAs.
That's good.
Good stuff.
So anyway, we said we would get back to it. So let me bring it right back to it. Oh no, there's a slight echo. Oh well. So in addition to your podcasts and shows, you are also quite the musician, and you had your first album. I think it was this year, right? 2021.
Yeah, it came out this year.
Sunken Road.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah.
So-
I don't even know what to say. Ask me.
Well, no,
questions.
I wanted to actually throw it to Kevin because this was something that he felt kind of he could relate with a little bit, and I like where his head was at with this. Kevin, you want to ask what you were telling me?
Yeah. I guess what I was thinking was, you just put out this album. Obviously, you aren't dating high school girls. You know what I'm saying? Like myself.
No, I don't know what you're saying.
I'm definitely
Okay.
not. I'll clarify.
Right. He's not a spring
Start
chicken.
over. What are you saying?
He's not a spring chicken. Long in the tooth. Whatever you want to use. But just you put out your first album, right?
Yeah.
And how much of that do you feel, looking back, is maybe COVID related and having the time to do that, or is it just something that took you that long to feel comfortable to put out there?
Yes.
Good answer.
I mean, really, I've been writing for 30 years.
Yeah, I've heard.
Others,
I've read.
But yeah, I mean, COVID didn't hurt because I was, sitting here with my guitars every day, and that kind of. I had all the stuff, like I had microphones, and I've recorded and done multi-track recording and all that stuff for years, but I never pushed through the project until now.
I think
Right.
I think like Kev ultimately was alluding to too is that like a lot of projects that were on hold or on the shelf were always lingering there, but never rising out, came out during that time period. And like there was a lot of tragedy, a lot of hard things, obviously, but there was also after this, there's like this great breath, right? Where everybody just stopped and they weren't commuting, they weren't rushing around. And I feel like I've seen across the board a lot of art come out of that time period. So it's cool to see something that we could all relate to, as you have this thing that's always there, you're always writing, but like it hasn't culminated. And then finally everything else you can just like, all right, I'm doing this, right? Like a lot of other distractions are gone, and
I
then you have the
never knew
opportunity.
I never knew how bad I was at doing this, which I've always dreamed about doing until we did it. And now I'm like all in. I'm like,
you're awesome, Kev. You're nailing it. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Great.
Don't listen to what those
fine.
guys say.
I always wondered how awesome
no, but I
was,
really
and now
love
I
the
know
album,
I am awesome.
and I'm just, it made me think a lot about, why for so many years I didn't do anything. And it was, reflecting back on it, the impetus is all of a sudden you can't do anything else.
Well,
this is your world,
I don't want to keep talking over Jonathan because he's the guest, but I'm realizing things for the first time when you're talking through this. There was a weird time dilation, right? Like I think you just lose time when shit's in full flyby, right? And then you're like, oh, I'll do it this weekend, I'll do it next week. But then the weird thing about the start of the pandemic was it was okay, it's a couple of days. Then remember it was 2 weeks, right? And so your focus.
Then it was 3 months, maybe.
The goalpost kept moving, so you ended up with these bigger and bigger pockets of time. And I think that time dilation, maybe, I don't know, I'm projecting, but I want to throw it to Jonathan. But for me, that was kind of an opportunity to catch up on those lost projects.
Yeah, I mean, some of the songs, a couple of the songs had been kicking around a long time, like a couple of them a really long time. But then other songs I wrote in, the year prior to the record, as I made the record, and having that time being here. At least one of those songs on the record is a bit about the year, as one might imagine would happen, and it's time is slippery. It just kind of flies right through your fingers. You can't hold it, but every now and then you can it slows down around you.
I like time is slippery. That's
usually
good.
You're not the one causing it to slow down. Sometimes a good band is, sometimes something else might be. Sometimes the universe just really just slows its roll, and what you do with that is what matters. So so I just started making tracks, and I think the other thing that kind of motivated me or inspired me is that in Broke Down Pod, I've spent a lot of time talking with musicians and what they do, who they are, and continually finding that, except for the fact that they've committed their lives to making this music, which I didn't, due to just the path of life and things I had to do. Aside from that, a lot of them weren't that different from me. We have very similar records in our collections, and we have, just similar attitudes. And
like you pick up a conversation from a year ago and it's just real easy.
Yeah, they're all, some of these folks are very, very much just like me, or I would like to think I'm just like
them off
them.
their pedestal.
Yeah,
it's
a little
kind
bit
of
of
made
that.
it more
Yeah.
attainable, and
They seem
it
very
leveled everything out, and you're like, all right, this is I am this person. I can do this, and people want to hear it.
It's always scared me meeting famous people. That what if they're an asshole?
Oh,
like I never want to see you again.
I've never encountered that for my show.
Right.
But the ones who are assholes probably just they won't come on my show.
Do you do your own? Do you do your own booking?
Yeah, I do all my own booking. I do for Broke Down Pod. I do everything. I do the booking. I do the editing.
Do you enjoy that aspect of it?
Some days.
It's a loaded question, I know, because I do. I mean,
right?
I get help with these guys, but I do a lot of the booking, and some of it I love, but some of it, man, that's the most stressful shit ever. Right.
You know,
You can have like you read these dry streaks where like nobody's either available or interested or just crazy occupied. And then you get also then it pours some weeks and you're like, wow, there's a lot of people that want to,
yeah. I mean, I've had moments where I've banked interviews where I've got a few people that I'm talking to, and we'll go ahead and talk, and it will be a few weeks before we get the show out. And I've had moments where I don't have anyone, and thing about Broke is I could just play dead, no problem.
Yeah, nobody will be
There you go.
upset.
But yeah, I mean, I keep it pretty loose. I'm rarely booked. Like I know who my next guest is. I don't know who's after that. No idea.
That's ahead of us sometimes.
That's it.
Yeah.
I feel seen.
Yeah, and sometimes I know a little further.
Is it a little more not I mean, I don't know how much you can like reveal behind the curtain, but just knowing RJ on the level I know him, and now with Brian's personality in there too, do you find that it's a little more planned out and scheduled ahead of time with the stuff you do with HF
Like
Pod
Undermine.
and Undermine, and
It has to be
when
with
it's
Undermine with
Well,
us.
is there
Undermine-
an official difference between like being part of Osiris and like like is Undermine considered like an Osiris run project? You know what I mean?
Undermine
Because like
is an Osiris podcast. It is,
It's a property.
and
right, but
and HF
like
Pod is now
Beautiful
too.
Garbage or Broke Down Pod is
Well,
like
you'd
an
have to look at the
individual.
contract. I think you have to look at the contract.
Yeah,
for
this is
each
getting
one
under
of
the
them.
hood a little, but Breakdown Pod
Uh,
is an independent podcast, but is a community podcast of Osiris, which means it's independently produced. But we have, they advertise the show. I advertise, Osiris a little bit, and we help each other out a little bit here and there. We're friends, and we go back. And when Osiris started, it was. It had a different direction. It wasn't producing, and now it's producing. And
right, they
Undermine is
started
a perfect
introducing
example
more and more
of producing
projects
that.
and stuff.
Yeah, HF Pod has been folded in, and we have been fortunate enough to have it was closed up, and we were fortunate enough to have sponsors who wanted to bring the show back, and so we got to bring the show back this summer and this month. And hopefully we will carry on if people want it to carry it on.
I love it.
What is the difference for people who don't know watching the show later on Twitter? Because I know Team Chad knows the difference between Undermined and HF Pod.
HF Pod
lot of it.
is people sitting around talking about fish. Undermine is it's a scripted storytelling product. We're and I say I am a co-host, but I don't create that show. I just work on it a little bit. A lot of people put in a lot of effort, and they
Benji, who's a
craft
friend
that.
of the show.
Benji, Brian, RJ, and I will do everybody wrong by not listing them all. So I apologize now. But
We're gonna
there's a
play the
lot
out
of-
music for
Yeah, there
you
you
now.
go. There's a lot of great people who work on that, and I am really the minorest of cogs in that wheel.
You are not, by the way, the last Osiris podcast host to be on Wook+, because I know that was a joke that was going around that, or somebody had said that. It was like because we had Brian and RJ and everybody on.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of podcasts that we want to get to.
Eric Krasno has not been on.
Yeah, so you get him. You get Mike Fenoya. That guy's.
Oh yeah,
Mike's been on. We love
Mike's
Mike.
been on.
Yeah.
Mike did us a Thanksgiving.
Okay, there
Mike did us a Christmas greeting last year. That was probably it was so top notch. He went outside. There was snow blowing around. It couldn't have been more perfect.
Yeah, that guy's fun.
Farmer
We
in him.
had a good time in New York a couple
We'll
years
post
ago.
the link later.
So, I don't
Everybody
know
wants-
if I hope somebody asked you privately because I'm about to put you on the spot, but that's also by design.
Do
We
it.
have this Christmas spectacular coming up next week. I don't know if you guys saw the ad earlier, but all right, that's
All right,
enough of that.
Tess, you can say what the name
Well
was.
done.
It was the second annual Music Holidays Christmas Holiday
Spectacular.
Spectacular Extravaganza show. It's fucking
Because
Right.
show was the trunk of the tree. It just
right.
worked.
But you have a new single out, and
I do.
I was going to ask you if you'd be willing to play it on our show next week, add it to the lineup.
I'd be willing to try if I can get a good take for you.
All right, fair enough. Well, tune in next week, everybody, to find out if Jonathan got a good take.
Teaser. We need a flashing
Teaser.
screen there.
Oh man, was that awkward enough? Are we good? You want to?
Yeah, that was
great.
I can
great.
take one of those breaks.
So moving on.
What else you got? It's a good song, by the way.
I wanted to
It's
ask
called
about
maybe
the John
next year.
T.
It's on my Bandcamp. So
Right.
check it out.
I wanted to ask about the John T. If we
Oh
had a
yeah,
minute.
love those guys.
And you've done a couple songs with them. One of them I found no problem on YouTube, which is
Fading Time, right? That's the
Fading
one you
Time.
found, yeah.
and you wrote this with Scott, who is
Scott's the drummer and
drummer.
one of the vocalists. So I've
Right.
known Scott since before he was in there through Fish Community. Before that band was formed, and yeah, he's a good friend. Had the pleasure of doing shows with him, and yeah, so I heard the John T, and I was digging him, and said, it's funny. I was just telling him this story in Vegas, which is that I heard one of their songs. I won't say which, and it's kind of an absurdist song, but one of the lyrics just like got me
stuck in your bra.
yeah. I was like, really, Scott? And I was like, I know he can do better, and he had already done better in other songs, and that song's great, actually. I love it, and their music is great. Their playing is great. Caden's a great guitar player. Tyler, who's on keys now, is amazing, and John is an outstanding bass player, and Scott is a terrific drummer and composer, and I just thought,
I give lessons.
I don't know, you should.
I was gonna say, you want to hook us up because I am seeking a new mentor, and if he does,
Do you have a drum pad always available though?
I do, right here. Ready?
There you go.
Because this is my station. We were talking about that, right? All your shit's right here, ready to go.
Yeah, it's all right there. So yeah, I reached out to Scott and I was like, hey, I got some lyrics for you. I write songs, and I know you guys, you write your own songs, but you want to check them out? And he was like, yeah, sure. And so I sent him the lyrics to Fading Time, and it was he hit me up a little while later. It's like, dude, I wrote some music. We're doing this, and
here's your song.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, that's he connected with the lyric, and which is good because I kind of wrote it very much with them in mind. And then I sent him another one, which is called "Let Dreams Do," which they still do play, at least as of last year, but not as frequently as they have played "Fading Time."
I need to get out and see other jam bands. I love the idea of it, but I'm so myopic. Like when Brian and his when Beyond the Pond, that like opening line that him and David have, where it's like, oh, some fans are myopic. Like that is to a T who I am. Like my idea of variety is like, am I listening to 97 or
is it Vita
17?
Blue or is it...
Right? Or I mean, I get into the cyber, but I got
crazy
really good things about John T though. Like they have a really good reputation.
They jam. So look. There are a lot of great bands, and I'm not here to denigrate anybody, but I will tell you, the John T, Radiator's a great band. The John T actually jam, like legitimate type 2 jamming. And, it may not be the kind of jamming that everybody likes, as will happen with all kinds of bands.
It had a nice groove. It had a nice groove to it. It was very easy to get into it. There was, you didn't have to think much about it.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, no, I agree. You do you. I have a chronic problem of listening to too much different music. But
so, what is your best album of this year?
I don't know that I can do that. I didn't do a list quite purposefully.
Kev, I'm going to cut you off and say that we have a corporate mandated The suits are
Break
telling me that we
coming
have
up.
to go to a break right now. Douglas Wookbanks
So
wants
think about it for the
he
other
wants his
side.
screen time. That guy's a huge
No,
pain
man.
in the ass. He's like, you give me my screen time or I'm cutting my contract short.
He's a true professional, I tell you.
He's an affiliate with
It
an
was
attitude.
big numbers. It cost us big numbers to
All
get
right, well,
that
let's see
guy,
what
so.
Douglas Wookbanks has next for us.
Good.
And we're back on Wook Classic Movies. Our next film is a holiday comedy classic, Christmas Vacation. In this scene, Clark is dreaming about all the fun his family is going to have when his Christmas bonus pays for their new pool. Let's roll.
Oh, what the fuck?
So good.
Is that Phoebe Cates? Who was that?
And now good luck getting that song out of your head. I've been singing it
It's
for
been
2
stuck
days.
in my
You can
head
do it
for
today.
days,
I know.
man.
I
And
like Hawaiian Christmas music.
you know what's awkward about that is I asked my beautiful wife to help film that, right? Because I don't have a camera crew here at Wook Studios.
I'm
And
shocked.
she did a great job and was into it and
Throwing
stuff.
the great job
And then-
throwing the package.
Yeah, throwing the cloth and filming it. And then it's like, okay, I'm going into editing, right? And then you want to share the product, but then what you're sharing is you Googling like an asshole over some girl stripping, and you're like,
Phoebe Cates. Right.
sorry,
She's
babe.
like really
Sorry,
creeping
babe.
there too. I know the other
Really
day when I was
creepy.
watching, it's like it's not a little creepy at all. Just kind of sitting
No,
there.
it's a lot of
staring.
creepy, man.
It
I don't
is
know
a
why I
lot of
agreed
creep.
to do that,
That whole
shit.
movie, that whole character Randy Quaid plays is creepy through the whole franchise.
I did that shit
Oh,
for
yeah.
Skoy, is why I did that.
I
All
love
right.
This Father Chris even knows what Mary. No shit. So great. It's
All right,
such-
I got
awesome.
2 albums for you, but they are not the
right.
necessarily the best, but they are
Okay, but
2
they're
of my
yours. They're
favorites.
right.
The first one, I don't know if I can get the right angle on my camera without the reflection. It's Daniel Bachman's Axacan.
Okay.
It is it's on 3 Load Recordings. It is an absolute mindfuck journey of I can't even begin. Like, just check it out, but make sure you're comfortable. And then a completely different
Doing that shit
direction.
tonight. I gotta write that down.
Daniel Bachman, Axacan. And then I have Jeffrey Alexander and the Heavy Litters. Now, Jeffrey has been on my podcast a few times, but his records are good, which is why he's been on my podcast a few times. And this one has the cats from Elkhorn joining him. And it's got a 10-minute version of Spoonful on it. And
Nice.
I
this
fucking
is
love
Elixir,
that. Jam.
Elixir of Life. From
I'll tell
Jeffrey
you. A
That
little secret.
was. Wait, I want to say a quick anecdote first, then I'll throw it back to you.
Yeah,
'Cause
go ahead.
Spoonful was the like audition jam. It wasn't audition, but it was the barometer test with the guys I jam with. Now we're not really a band. We don't like do, but like we like to get together and play music. But like the barometer, what way back in the day when we first met was Spoonful. That was like what we wanted to play to feel it out and see if we were compatible or not. That's awesome. A 10-minute
love
version,
it.
that'd be sick.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
When you're at Jazz Fest, I'm seeing this band at Tipitina's, and Anders Osborne comes out on stage with them, and for 20 minutes they do Spoonful. And after that, I was like, "This is my favorite band," and that's how
Don't
it
say
all
it.
really happened.
Don't say it. I gotta slow down, Cat.
I didn't say it. I love Anders Osborne though. Have you ever heard him?
I gotta bring that bumper in. It's Christmas. This is the
It
last
is.
live of the year.
right.
Sorry,
Yeah,
go on, Jonathan. I didn't mean to interrupt.
It's just like yes, I've heard Anderson. He's great. He's great.
He is. Great story.
We should
there.
give the guests access to buttons too, so
Oh, God help us.
if they don't want to answer a question, they can just be like, "I'm out."
whether it's me or not. It's
Always. Yeah,
Cool.
exactly.
It's always you, Kevin.
Oh, what else
Always
you got?
No, well, I want to talk fish now. Like we're just in past the halfway point, and that's really what this show's about. That's what everybody wants to talk about. That's what I want to talk about.
And
you
who are
going to
they?
New Year's?
No, I'm done with fish for done with seeing fish for the year. I went to Halloween. I did the whole Vegas run. It was outstanding, fun, scary.
And you came out
Terrific.
unscathed.
I did.
Well, I don't
did.
know anyone that saw fish at Halloween though that came out 100% unscathed.
I
though.
did not. I did
You-
not.
There-
But I
You don't
there's
know
did
a
how
have
it
weird
goes.
unspoken
Right.
like change of attitude though, a little bit. I'm not saying that's like a negative way, and maybe I'm like projecting, but
It
like a
was
lot
hot.
of people went into that tour and that run with like the adrenaline of one of the best tours in the recent history, right?
Top
But
5
then
tour
with
ever.
the culmination of Sci-Fi Soldiers and the mist and the breakout
And the fire and the no
heat
air conditioning.
and everything else, a
Nice.
lot of people came out of that tour kind of burnt out. I mean, I'm not accusing Jonathan of being burnt out, but it's funny
Right.
because a lot of people have been like, "Yeah, I'm going to take a break. I don't want to keep going right now."
Well, I'm not taking a break for that. I have just, life and things, and actually kind of the deal that's unspoken. It's not even a deal. It's a deal I made with myself. Is that if I'm going to 4 nights in Vegas for Halloween, I'm not doing New
4
Year's.
nights in New York, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's
and-
also for me would be just a law of reality, right? Like that was just
Right.
a law of
Well-
economics at that point.
Well, there's that, and there's the, I don't lose the discussion if I don't have the discussion. So if I don't say, "Hey, honey, I'd like to go to New Year's," she won't have to say no if I don't bring it up.
Yeah.
And
MSG is my drug though. Like out of all the venues, that's the one I can't miss for me personally.
it's Hampton for me.
There you go.
I like MSG. I've been there a number of times over the last several years. It's been outstanding, and they definitely put out.
I haven't
but-
been there for 30 years. I saw the Dead there in 91. That's the only
Nice.
time I've ever been there 2 nights.
Really?
So it's going to be completely different. Yeah.
Oh,
for me.
dude, after the renovation,
It's nice, but it's not the same.
No,
Well,
it's not the same. And if you have strong nostalgia to the pre-renovation, a lot of people didn't love it. But from a functionality standpoint, it works better than most arenas you see Fish at.
Mhm.
Like it
Yes.
is a very well being on top of Penn Station alone, but even the way that the arena moves and the new seating and everything, I don't know. I'm a stand for it. I love seeing Fish. It's by far my favorite venue.
I like the ring. And
The
I was,
Chase Bridge. Dude,
no,
I was on the
I mean the old ring before the
Right.
reno, where you could actually walk, which we quite liked. The last time I was there before the reno was LCD sound system, and
Wow.
Nice.
and yeah, and then I went back for Fish, and it's very pretty. The bridge is interesting. I like the bridge if you don't care about like hearing well, but you like
the only time I've done the
room.
bridge is for the
Bunch of that.
theatrical shows, right?
Yeah.
Because that's where there's a lot of visual stuff. And
I'm
not going to do it again, though, because the anxiety of being on the bridge, along with the anxiety of Trey being stuck up during the
You might be able to rescue him.
I was eye to eye with him, and he was terrified.
If anybody can get me on the bridge for 1-1, hit me up. I need 2 tickets. I would love to be on the bridge
It's a
instead
cool
of
place.
fucking
It's a cool place.
be a drunk the night after New Year's.
Well,
Fucking
let's
start the next year off right.
hey, let's piggyback off of the work that Jonathan and the guys had to do for their show. You've been recently on HF Pod. You've been recapping your December shows, your 12/29, your 12/30s. As kind of a big grand recap, New Year's Eve excluded, what are your top like all-star late December shows? Because you've been doing some research, right? You've been going back and listening.
Oh,
and...
I don't really do any research. No, I'm kidding. Brian's probably watching, actually. Sorry, Brian. No, I do. But I will tell you, I told him this today when we did the 12:30 show. Like, I only listened to 1.0 shows. I didn't listen to any of the 3.0 New Year's runs. They're fine. Some of them are really good. Some of them are not.
That makes it hard to vote in the bracket.
I don't rank. I don't vote in brackets.
It's fine.
It's cool. I mutual respect, right? You do.
We
I
need
don't-
a plug.
so-
We need a plug.
Well,
stream.
My thing.
Hold on, though. To be fair,
Okay, now to be fair.
To be fair.
To be
now
They're
to
my
be
people.
fair, I don't actually rank for the brackets. That's kind of
No,
a miss.
That's somebody else does that.
The seating, I use a lot of like algorithms or public rankings. So I'll pull like .net rankings and I'll do research on Twitter, or I'll pull
He
in
lays it off on
experts.
us.
Like actually, Brian, I've pulled in to help me seed because
Oh yeah, he's a big
I don't
secret
know
ranker.
I don't know everything as well as some of the people out there. I suck at it, so there's help. But What the fuck were
Grateful
we
Dead
talking about?
bracket. We had
What
fun
were your
doing.
all right? So 1.0. So your
Yeah.
point was you haven't really
I-
gotten a 3.0.
My point was really that I did my research on the 1.0 and then tried to like use up the entire hour talking about that, so we didn't have time to talk about 3.0.
Fudge it.
All right. So what's your favorite 3.0 December show? No, you can go 1.0.
I don't
That's fine.
know, man. I don't know. I probably it's probably like 12/29/94, 12/31/95, or Big Cypress. I mean, these are the pillars. I don't think too many people would argue with me about them.
Cyprus. I was at Cyprus, so
Same.
I'll vote for that.
I was there, and
I've only seen 2 other New Year's run shows, and they were both 12/28s in DC in 93 and 94.
nice. I was at the 12/28/97 in Cap Center, sort of.
Right.
DC.
Okay, right. I was there
Yeah.
for that too. So 3,
And
my
then-
fault.
But I've only seen New Year's twice, and Big Cypress and 2018.
Mercury.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Which
Oh,
one
nice.
was 2018, Tim?
Mercury.
Mercury.
Yeah, I was at that one. That was my first New Year's show and my first MSG show ever.
Wow.
That was my first time, and my fiance's first fish show ever. So
Nice.
Oh.
it was a big
That's
one.
Did
a
you
hell of a
stay?
way to start, huh?
Yeah, she did. No, she did.
Right
And
on.
actually, since then, she's been seeing him now for 2 years with with COVID and stuff. But she just saw, I think, her 10th show. So I was
Your
like, in 2 years
fiancé?
seeing fish, I had only
Your
seen 2
fiancé?
shows.
I
and
was
in
at
2 years
3 of
seeing
those
fish, she had
shows. I'm
10.
so proud of myself.
Yeah, you have been. Yeah.
There you go.
So I've kind of got her on the train. She's not fully a fan, but she definitely enjoys going and sees everybody. And now she kind of knows the crew and gets
Nice.
into it. So it's good.
She met
yeah.
me and Tim and Fam, which
Yeah.
she survived that.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, exactly.
What
She
do you-
survived Dix. She survived. She
People
survived
love
Vegas
hanging out with us,
Halloween.
Dad.
Yeah, right on. So
Well, maybe
yeah,
not Tim and Fam, but meeting me and she survived.
Well, Jonathan, is your wife, is your family understanding? You're like kids.
so my wife knows this is a sort of a pre-existing condition, but we started.
Well, I guess if
dating-
they're not understanding, it's hard to
Right.
survive that marriage, right?
No,
Like when
we
it's that
started
committed.
dating at a time like I already had a kid, and but we went to shows together. Like our first shows together were Hampton '98, and then we did a couple of the '99 shows in the summer. We did Hampton '99 and Big Cypress together.
Wow, that's
Did it,
sweet.
a couple 2.0 shows together. Meanwhile, I'm seeing other shows without her as well, and she hasn't been to a show in a while. Like we started out 3.0, saw a couple shows together, and she's just got she likes to go to Puerto Rico with her friends, once a year. So I go to fish shows with my
cocktails
friends.
on the beach.
See, that's what's
That's
nice though.
great
It's kind of
setup.
nice having that separation because that's the same with Alex. Like she likes to go, but she's also doesn't have to go. So it kind of
Yeah.
gives me like an opportunity to, like she did a couple of fall tour shows with me, but then she didn't do all like I didn't almost all of them, and she did the ones that she wanted to. So it's nice. It's good that
But they're
sometimes you have
both
that companion
supportive,
and-
obviously.
Yeah.
It's good to
Yeah.
have the separation as long as there's the mutual respect.
Right.
and
Because
support.
with you, basically, it's if you don't go, if she doesn't go, you don't go.
With me? Well,
Yeah.
yeah, that's my problem. And I will preface this with that my wife is my favorite show partner. There's no offense, guys,
Great.
but there's
Madame
literally nobody
Wook
I would
is
rather
it.
see fish with than my wife. But
Totally
the
get that.
reality of it is that it's fucking expensive because
It costs twice as much.
we're not the couple that goes to like New Year's and then goes home and hangs out with family. We're the couple that goes to the whole run together every time. So it's like fucking expensive, basically. It's our
Yeah.
vacation. You don't have
Tickets,
other vacations.
Multiple after shows, hotel. Got to stay in a nicer one because she's with you. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not
Well,
sleeping on the floor with a bunch of wooks and just trying to
Right,
get
well,
by.
she
And
didn't. She
like,
couldn't go out to Deer Creek
Right.
because it was last minute decision. But that was the perfect example. I crashed on somebody's floor at the Airbnb. Right, just crashed on the floor, slept in my truck, drove out there. But like when you're doing a run with your partner, you can't do that. You got to get the nice
No.
hotel and do all this shit.
yeah, exactly. And I think actually this is
unless she's
probably the
into
first time I
kind
said
of
that
shit.
too. So yes, thank you. That's I think the first time I've mentioned that out loud to people outside
right
of our
on.
crew. So
Congrats.
The
You
we
know,
totally
if
missed
she-
that context, by the way, when we did the couples game night. The whole point of that was because that's when we all found out that you guys got engaged. So the idea was like, hey, we're gonna like announce your engagement and make a big thing, but we ended up just getting drunk doing a game night. And
Just
everybody's
getting
like,
drunk
why
and
are you
playing games.
doing this? This is so random. It's because we forgot the punchline.
We did. That's so true. It was so wook of us.
It's
And we
so
kept
I
commenting
think
on
we
saying, like-
alluded to it during the hour because we were laughing because you guys kept getting all the answers right, and you're like, "Oh, newlyweds, no wonder
Right.
they get all the answers right."
Yeah, because we could remember the stuff because it had just sort of
Right.
happened.
Right,
Like,
it was 2
easier.
years ago, not 12 years ago or 15 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
you
Sam
guys,
was the best with that though because he's like, I don't watch movies. We did a whole segment on movies, and he's like, I don't watch movies.
I was getting frustrated at first because I didn't get his humor with the TV shows, but then when I picked up on it, it was like,
funny.
dude, what are you doing?
He's a
TV
TV
shows
guy,
are
not a
great.
movie guy.
enough.
Why don't we take one last break? Get Douglas's
Mm-hmm.
his screen time.
I'm
and then
very
we'll come
excited
back.
for this one.
We'll talk
It was
some more.
expensive having that guy come in.
I like it though. I am fucking
It was
so
worth
happy
it.
to have him back. All right, let's go.
Our last film of the year is the most recent one of the bunch, Elf. It explores the old fish out of water plot and tells the story of when one of Santa's elves passes through the 7 levels of the candy cane forest, through the sea of swirly twirly gumdrops, and walks through the Lincoln Tunnel to end up in New York City. Let's take a look at the steamy shower scene.
My mother will start to worry, and father will be pacing the floor. So really I'd better scurry. Well, maybe just a half a drink more. The neighbors might think, say, what's in this drink? I wish I knew how to break the spell.
I'll take your hat, your hair.
I ought to say no, no, no.
Mind if I move in?
At least I'm gonna say that I tried.
What's the sense of hurting my
I really can't stay.
It's cold outside.
Get out! Get out! Don't look at me!
Oh my God. I'm just glad we're taking a break. That's
Oh, God.
Are you
it's so
kidding?
good.
I mean, I guess you could go out on the high point, but like,
I tell you what, he showed up Skoy with the shower scene there. Skoy's like
a
Go in his
rule-
thought he picks.
to give you guys like a little look behind the curtain, like a general rule when we're producing these things is hamburger filming, right? Horizontal perspectives, the 60 by 19, you hold your camera this way. Because we're all professionals. We're not
like
trying
Spike
to
Lee
do
did. Like Spike Lee
right.
was
So fam sent us this clip, and I'm like, first thing I said was like, fam, why is it hot dog? Which is like our internal for like, why are you doing? And he's like, well,
doing.
somebody
Get it,
told me
hot dog. It's
yeah. But and he was like, well, Lope told me I need to show nip, and that was his excuse for doing the vertical, was just so you guys could get the nip.
well, it is tough, if you want to get the like a shower stall,
right.
and but you widescreen, you're going to get all the other stuff, and
And everything.
you
Yeah.
need a real cinematographer for that kind of job.
Well, plus he did it by himself, I think, too. So he had like the iPad set up in the like in his
Oh, God.
shower, trying not to get it wet, letting it not fall, and trying to shoot into it. So I mean, I got to give him huge props for what he
For
did.
not
said-
destroying his
he's-
iPad.
Well, he
Yeah,
said that
exactly.
he nearly did destroy both his phone and his iPad because
Oh,
he was
no.
lip syncing. So he had one device playing the clip and the other device recording him.
So he could know the lyrics to where he was at. Yeah, it was
Worth
pretty good.
it though, worth it. That was
Totally
brilliant.
worth it. And let me tell you how many takes it
apparently
took.
that clip wasn't enough though for our chat.
Oh,
Let me
you
tell you
got
how many
Wasn't
that
takes
comment up?
it took Wookbanks to get that swirly twirly line down too. I mean, that was not a one take shot there either. That was a lot of freaking
Guy's a
prep work.
consummate professional though.
Yeah.
Consummate.
Yeah, Wookbanks. He was a good guy on set. Let me tell you, he was a little loaded by the time he left set that night. It
Or
was,
he's a consomme. Professional.
He's
All
a
right.
true pro.
So, fish.
How
Back to
about
fish.
those guys from
A
Vermont?
really cool
So
band.
what do you think? What do you think that they do for New Year's to top everything and end this tumultuous year?
I don't know. I think they should just do it down with disease.
Give
For a
into
whole
it.
set?
Have
Yeah, it's
dancing viruses and like
You know,
like nose swabs, like Broadway Trey with the dancing nose swabs.
With a Golgi jam in the middle?
how many right. Golgi belongs inside the disease. That's exactly right. How many New Year's shows that has Down with Disease been, you know,
All of
the
them?
gold star, right? I mean, it's been a centerpiece
Many.
several times.
The
particularly in the
aquarium
90s,
in '93, the aquarium video was filmed during the Down with Disease jam.
right? And that was, you know, the year when it was new, right? And it was
Right.
just the jam.
Well, I don't think it existed yet. I don't think it existed
It
till
had been written,
'94. Yeah, it had been
but it
written, and they
hadn't
just
been
did the jam
performed.
for the video because they were huge on MTV for like 20 seconds.
Yeah, no, I think about the 4 minutes and 20 seconds, the length of the song. And yeah, that was it though. But yeah, and then with 96 big Down with Disease. Yeah, I think they should do that. Honestly, like what are they gonna do? They're not gonna pull a Sci-Fi Soldier song out. The, I can't
Black-Eyed
imagine.
Katie. They need to base it around Black Eyed Katie and then retire MoMA Dance for the rest of 4.0.
I'm okay with that too. I was listening to, was it the 12/30/97 when we were doing this stuff for the other
That's
show? And,
one seed in the MSG bracket. That's a really
right,
high
and
one.
the Black Eyed Katie in the second, and excuse me, in the encore, the long encore that ran past curfew, it's so freaking slow. Like, I'm sorry, it's good, but you're talking about playing this at like 12:15 after,
Right.
you know, on the third night of a 4-nighter, and you know, you'd better have been going hard to just be able to be up on your feet during that, because I was sitting around and listening to it and I was like, I could nap.
Yeah.
It's good, but you know,
It's
I
so
like Black
laid
Eyed
back.
Peas. I'm not knocking.
Right, so laid back.
That's
I
all right. I
will
don't have a
say, though-
strong opinion either way.
Yeah,
I
so
saw
what,
the Hampton one that year, and the Hampton one was it was in Tweezer, I guess, and it was
I was kind of on a semi hiatus because I had a 1-year-old, but I did see the Went that year. So
Nice.
missed Hampton. That's my only that 96 are the only times I didn't go to Hampton. So well, but what are you guys calling for? What do you, I mean, this can't,
You know,
don't just
I'll
put
say
on
this.
me.
I'll say more than just the New Year shows. I think night one back at the Garden for them is going to be awesome. I think that's going to be the energy show, like that real, we're back, you know, like it's good to be back in the Garden. It's good to be back on our home court. I think that's going to be a fun show. I don't want to say it's going to be better than New Year's, but you know, a lot of times the shows leading up to or the day after sometimes overpower the New Year's show because of the gag and whatnot. But I think that first night's going to be fun. I think everybody in there that night's in for a real treat. I think that's
Well,
what
it's gonna be
12/29
emotion.
Philly the Jam.
Well, there's
Yeah.
gonna. I mean, and maybe I'm projecting because at least for me, there's gonna be a lot of emotions on that first night because, like, yes, we've had the summer tour and the fall tour, but Rescue Squad and the last New Year's of 19 was like really the end of 3.0. Like, I know they had Mexico, but like
Mexico
that was
doesn't count.
right. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think Rescue Squad. I don't know. Maybe people.
and it
will
was
be pissed.
traumatic. It was traumatic.
And the energy
Watching it
around
happen.
that set and anyone that was in the building that night matched kind of the energy going into the break. And I feel like for people that were there that night or watched it on the
It was
webcast,
gripping. It was gripping television watching that.
and
It
then
sure was.
and then to not have the relief of seeing him again on stage for that long, and then now to come back home to MSG, it's, in my mind, I think it's going to be a very emotional 29th. I
I
think
was waiting
30th
for
is going to be
CNN to break
raging.
in.
Well, so they've riffed on that, right? So Trey riffed on it here in the Beacon Jams. They riffed on it in the
Which was
comic book for
fantastic.
Sci-Fi Soldier, which is hilarious. Yeah, the Beacon Jams thing was fantastic.
Yeah, my
But will they
I'm
do
not getting it.
a big production for New Year's.
Well, they're not going to put them up on the platform.
Hey, no platforms.
No platforms.
Will they have dancers? This was the conversation we were having in Vegas, right? Will they have dancers or any of that, or will they just go with the 4 of them and some sort of like light and prop production, or what do you guys think?
I
would love
think
if
it's
they
that.
walked out and just played a 3-set show and did nothing.
I would
just ripped
too,
it.
but New Year's
Paige
Eve
in his
seems to
nice
be
shirt.
the one night recently, and by recently I mean like 3.0, 4.0, where Trey is actually predictable. I feel like he is unpredictable 364 days of the year, but New Year's Eve, as of late since 2010, has been Broadway Trey. And even the Gem Truck, like, were not Broadway Trey this year set was in because it was
Broadway
so
Trey.
obviously not Broadway Trey.
Right.
It was Broadway Trey. It was Broadway
But it was
it was
dope.
off Broadway Trey. Was
Right.
like the Gem
Gem
Truck.
Truck was like the thing, like Chilling Thrilling, where they stood closer together, and whenever they do that, it's better. Whenever Fish
And there was
stands in a
definite
close
benefits
configuration,
to that.
Maybe,
really
they
throw
should
down.
maybe they should play on a Lazy Susan. They put it in the middle of MSG and it just spins the whole time, so everybody gets to see all of them.
Like yes in the round. Like they should just be in the
Yes,
middle
in
of the
the
stadium
round,
and
like
go
you
like in the
need to
round.
work.
around and
Fish
around until
around.
Fish pukes.
They should
Totally.
recreate the opening of Get Back, the Disney Plus documentary, and do the costume on New Year's instead of Halloween and really piss off the West Coasters. And then you have that set up with the colored backgrounds, and then Mike just sitting there strumming on the bass, and then they fall in to Get Back. Spoiler alert, by the way. I'm sorry. It's been out long enough if you haven't
Yeah,
seen it.
no. But
That
I
was like
really want to hear Fish's
80
All
years
Things
ago.
Must Pass.
I want to hear. I want to
Right.
hear Paige and Trey trade. I've got a feeling back and forth.
Oh, that
Would be just fucking so perfect.
We are-
Sorry to
we're
the Beatles haters out there.
Way off the reality here, and I love it. This
Yeah, there's
sounds
not
outstanding.
happening.
I mean, that's such a garage
You're gonna have
rock
John
tune
Rule
that they should
choreograph.
be able to do that, though. It's such a garage rock tune. Paige plays Preston's part. It's just that guitar crunchy riff, there's not much there except the fucking great lyric and the everybody had a good year, even though it was 2021 and we're coming out of the quarantine,
Are we
Yeah.
though? So I'm not going down that road.
No, we are. I actually made a promise or pledge that we were not going to do the dramatic Twitter thing or the COVID thing. So
Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. The I will go back though, and you said Broadway Trey. I don't think we're gonna get a lot of Broadway. I think they're gonna have a production of some kind because they always do, but I think it's gonna be simpler. I think
That would
kind
be
of like
incredible.
sci-fi, and maybe even not as much as Sci-Fi Soul.
what about just like a big ass ball drop again, like just a boatload of balloons
Yeah, there you go.
and CK5 with the lights and MSG.
Bring back the hot dog for the first 4.0
No,
New Year.
man.
That
No.
thing, man, needs a paint job.
Yeah.
Some
That was my
mustard. It
favorite
needs a
New
little
Year's,
extra
though.
mustard.
That I was at.
Tropical hot dog night.
What were we?
Yeah, or just play one set for all of that time. Let's get a little cypressy and just play for how long? How long is that from
3.5
doors to
hours.
close?
Play an hour-and-a-half set and a 3.5 hour set.
There you go.
It's like 8 to 12:30.
3 songs and we're done. No
There you
problem.
go.
So,
Yeah.
Down
Exactly.
with disease. Chalk Dust Torture. Down with disease reprise.
With a little Old Lang Syne thrown in the middle.
Yeah,
with,
at
with
midnight.
the balloons and everything. And
You need that. Like,
Oh
I
yeah,
need-
no, you got to do that. And really, it should be you jam whatever song into
Right.
Buried Alive
Does
at
everybody sing?
11:58,
Do
and
people
then just
sing
kind of
at
hang
New
on
Year's?
that.
Do people sing Old Lang Syne at New Year's when they play it?
No, man.
You
No,
know,
you're
everybody does put
drinking,
their arms around each other,
kissing
drunk, and
strangers.
sing along.
No, I don't know what people are doing. I
Well,
just
Kevin's
dance.
like 300 years old. He's thinking about back in the day at the pub. No, man. Everybody's wooing and dancing and partying or kissing their partners or.
And all the shit's falling from the ceiling. Usually,
I
like they
don't know
have the
the word.
balloons falling. So
Well,
you're kind of
I
like,
hate to say it, but lately, the last couple of years, everybody's fucking got their camera out, their phones out. They're like, oh, like I got a better shot of all these streamers falling down, even though they
Yeah.
don't. But
Not me.
So will
yeah.
Fish go the Jack White route? No, they can't.
Oh no,
possibly with
they'll
20,000
never do
people.
that because people will be like, "Fuck you." I saw this YouTube video where all you need is a magnet. You take a magnet with you and you hold it up to the bag and it pops open. It's fucking a $5 fix.
I'll tell you, I've been pocketing my phone at Fish shows, and like you please check my work. You're not going to see a lot of tweets from me during shows that I've
I
been
do it
at.
by accident, gratefully,
just
but forget to
don't.
charge my phone, and by the time you're on the lot, it's halfway dead, and by the time you get into the venue, it's out. I'm like,
mine's
shit.
mine's
tweeted-
live. People are texting me, and I'm like, I'll look at it at set break and be like,
I
oh,
tweeted
sorry, I
for
didn't
one
come to
show.
section whatever.
I tweeted for one show over summer tour, and then I swore it off, and I no longer tweeted during shows.
Yeah, I did it.
That,
I did it once years ago. Other people are doing it. You don't need me to do it.
Right.
No, well, Scott kills it from the road,
Yeah.
kills it. Everybody,
they're doing great.
we don't need to do it. All right, well, I
Pros
think that's
take care of
about it.
Thank
We're
you,
right up
Jonathan.
against it.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Can I ask everybody to check out Broke Down Podcast and go to jmhart.bandcamp.com to hear some music
It's good
if they
stuff.
want.
Exactly.
I threw some free download codes out there on Twitter the other day. I can throw out some more if y'all think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah,
We'll
well,
retweet it out.
we'll
Yeah,
duplicate it as well, or
definitely.
Retweet it and send it out there. Yeah, for sure.
like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
logo.
yeah.
Like duplicate.
Definitely. Definitely.
or folks can buy it. But thank you all for letting me come on and chat with you. It's been a lot of fun.
We're gonna do this again. This was fun. I
This was
had a
fun.
really good time.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was great. Great.
Hang out once we're
Happy
done.
holidays. Well, that's a wrap on this special holiday edition of Wook Classic Movies. I hope you all enjoyed some of Hollywood's most magical movie moments from this special time of year. I've been your host, Douglas Wookbanks, wishing you all a very Merry Christmas and a happy, safe New Year. Until next time, when we explore more of Wook cinema. Well, hello, I'm Douglas Wookbanks, and welcome to Wook Classic Movies.
Look here, we serve high, above average IPAs. Wait, what the fuck? What's ABV?
Happy holidays to you.
Alcohol
by volume.
Just say ABV.
Above
so high
average is better.
ABV.
Like, what?
Well, that's a wrap on this edition of Wook Classic Movies. I'm Douglas Wookbanks, and happy holidays, motherfuckers. Peace.